They're witches.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
Because she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!
Indeed, now the witch is back. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Authentic. My name is Lisa, if you are new here. My name's also Lisa, if you've been here before. But you get what I'm saying. So yes, good evening, everybody. I hope that you are very, very, very well this fine and dandy Tuesday evening. Apologies for starting a couple of minutes late. We just did a live over on the Slimming World channel. It's called Beyond Authentic Health, and Rufus has just gone and just been pottering in the kitchen, and I was like, oh, I need to go and do another live. So yes, good evening to everybody. I hope you are all well. Good evening to Jessica 90. Oh, hang on, why have I not got my doodah on? Oops, what is happening? It's this one. Bear with, everybody. Sorry, I had the live chat set for the other one. There we go. Good evening to Jessica. Good evening to Holland. Holland, I am starting to use your music in all sorts of ways. So thank you ever so much. If you don't know, Holland is a musician, and they very kindly granted me some rights to use some of their music on videos. So the videos I've done with the rituals, the cut down ones from the Path Ahead videos, those ones now use Holland. So you can hear this hauntingly beautiful voice that starts and ends those videos. And that is actually Holland. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Your private reading is still due. What private reading, my darling? Did you I'm not quite sure what this refers to, my darling. Hello again to Dormouse. Hello, my love. Hello to Patricia. Hello, everybody. Yes, we're getting in there. What do you mean, my darling? Do I owe you a reading? I have no memory of that, but yeah, let me know in the chat what's what that relates to. But good evening, everyone. I hope you're well. I have had quite an interesting couple of days, actually. Yeah, an interesting couple of days in terms of sort of random spiritual type thoughts and things. So it's been interesting. There's some new magical energy just beginning to sort of, you know, when spring is coming, it's like, ooh, it's coming, it's on its way, and there's some new energy vibing. I can feel it. You want to book a reading with me but haven't been able to. Well, funny you should mention that, my darling. My Fiverr gigs will be back this coming week. I've got to film a new intro for it because it's horrendously out of date and the background looks awful. How I ever got bookings on it with the video that I had, I've got no idea. It's also got things like, it says, I've been reading tarot cards for 25 years. And I'm like, well, that's 30 years now. So that shows how long ago I set up the Fiverr account. So yeah, I need to sort all of that out. That's this week's business plan once we get today done. I've also got the Witch Casket box. My box is actually just there in the background. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. I'm not showing all the contents, but interesting box, a very, very interesting box. That video should be up for the members. It will be up tonight, probably quite late because we finish it at 9. Then I've got some beetroot burgers for dinner, delicious, and after that, after we've eaten, I'll finish editing it. I'm 21 minutes into a 36-minute video, so it'll be about half an hour video when it's done, because it was quite a full box and I wanted to give it my genuine and honest review. So yeah, but yeah, later this week, Flower Beauty, Peacock, Rainbow, Purple Ranger, it will be up a little bit later this week. So yeah, guarantee you that the Fiverr gig is coming back. Also, the Amazon thing beeped at me. Do you know, it did that earlier today, right? And I thought, oh, I haven't got a parcel. What's going on? And I was like, go on then, read my notifications. And the lovely little Amazon assistant voice, I'm not going to say the name because some of you have them, but she went, Lisa, there are some discounts from items that are in some items that you have viewed recently. Would you like this item? It is now £1.50 less than when you saw it. And I'm like, no, I don't. And she goes, to add it to your cart, just say add to cart, do this, do that. And I'm like, no, I don't want it, stop. She was really insistent. And then I said, no. Next notification, she went, Lisa, this other item that you looked at is now. And I was like, no, stop telling me I want deals. Good Lord. But I have to say, there is a tarot deck that I am looking at again. So there's a couple of decks I am looking at. But I do have to, this week, I have to get my head round the Tarot of Oppositions. That is my plan for this week, because if you are a member, on Sunday evening there will be a giveaway for the mini version of the Tarot of Oppositions. So yes, the Tarot of Oppositions. You caught it up on 2 times speed, which gave us chipmunk voices. Thanks for that, Holland. Good evening, Patricia. You were finally able to have the sound on your Stimming World video just as it finished. It was a bit waffly. I've said to Rufus, we're changing it for next week. We've got a few ideas. We're basically going to turn it into an online Stimming World group. Unofficially, of course, is what we're going to do. Just why not? But yeah, so anyway, enough about the other channel. This channel, we're all about the tarot and the divination. So this week's members only, I'm going to do the giveaway. I will be doing more jewellery. I've got more jewellery planned. We went through the tub, Patricia. We went through the tub, all of the mixed beads. And now I've just got one small bowl with some that I'm not sure whether they're bloodstone or garnet or unakite, because some of the green looks very similar to the unakite and some of the brown ones look very similar to the garnets. So I'm sorting those through, and I might have some aquamarine and aventurine mixed up, but as long as I use the two simultaneously and interchangeably, then I'm fine with that. But everything else, they're all ordered. So it's very good. It's very good. He hasn't even gone live yet on the Sims channel. He hasn't even gone live yet. He's too busy playing the game. And largely it's because what he's doing with it is he's setting it all up. So he's building all these different houses and everything to then go live. But I've said to him, you just need to do it. Just go live one evening. It'll be super late at night, probably like midnight when he goes to bed, and he'll play it for 2 or 3 hours, and then just go live, and then people can watch it afterwards if they want to watch a relaxing Sims stream. So yes, and then he'll get into doing other bits with it. But anywho, we've got today for the tarot cards, I've got the Poppy Palin deck. For some reason though, I went and grabbed the Fifth Spirit back. So we'll see how things go tonight. But if you do want a reading on this channel, there are 2 ways to get it. You can either wait until I open up a round. There will be a noise which will sound a little bit like this. That is your notification that a round is open. When that happens, you've got about 30 seconds. Get your questions in and do start your question with the word question. Then the keeper of the questions will get one of those questions, pick one of them at random, and that will be who I read for. If, however, you want to go ahead and guarantee that you are next, you can send your question through as a super chat. Just where you put your comments, there's like a little banknote next to it. It looks like a dollar. If you hit that, that gives you the option to send it as a super chat. That is also where I believe you can hit the join button and become one of our lovely members. They're called the Crow Collective, and our membership helps me do things like make donations to the local PDSA, which is our animal hospital here in the UK. It also goes, 10% goes to them, 10% also goes to the local homeless shelter here in Leeds, which is St George's Crypt. And then when YouTube takes its cut, whatever's left, we put back into the channel. So cameras and equipment and things like that. So if you'd like to become a member, this is how to do it. Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks and more. Just click on Join for more information. Thank you to all our members. as I say, the members this week, there will be a competition exclusive for members to win the Tarot of Oppositions mini deck in a tin. It's a beautiful deck. I'm going to be working with it this week, so I'm ready to use it on Sunday. That is after the advice of one Patricia, who is known on this channel as Granny Patricia, or Auntie Patricia, or the wise one, or the keeper of the questions, or she who knows more about everything than any of us. So Patricia, our lovely priestess, head priestess, what would you call her, head of the coven, Patricia basically said, because I was going to use them last week, and she went, oh no, you need to have a good bit of a practice with that deck. It's not a deck that you can jump into. So I'll be using that next Sunday, but I've also got, as I say, for tonight, we've got the Fifth Spirit deck, which is my new standard deck. It's a lovely deck, very modern in its approach, very welcoming, very, very inclusive, lots of different body types. So there are skinny people, larger people, average build people, there are people with different disabilities, there are people of different skin colors, there are people of different gender identities, and people of different sexualities. It's basically a deck that looks like the whole world. Basically, that's what it is. It looks like people from all across the world. In very interesting ways. So yes, that's one of the reasons why I love this deck. Plus it gives very, very kind of not brutal but very blunt advice, which is something I always appreciate. So then, I think I've done enough waffle. There are Chief Crone. Oh, I love that. Chief Crone. Okay, Patricia, the channel therefore officially dubs the Chief Crone. Crone in chief. She who shall be crone, who shall be the chiefdom of the crone. Yes, very good. We like that. So then, now we've got the Chief Crone. We are going to open a round. Before I do, there's a couple of things you need to know on this channel about how to get readings. I've gone through that, but there's also a couple of housekeeping rules. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. Yes, do keep your private information private. That is very, very important. I love this. Patricia's been out today and had a meal and a pint with friends. Do you know what? I cannot wait for the summer months when I'm able to get out and about again, and to go and do my mod tour of the UK. That's what I'm going to do, a mod tour of the UK. So yeah, that should be called. That should be cool. And Patricia said she's been called much worse. I know, I bet, right? Chief Crone. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. By the way, you do have to be a subscriber to this channel to be able to chat. So if you haven't done that yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And then you might as well dong your bell as well, so that you can then hit the notification bell and change your settings to all so that YouTube notifies you when I go live. That's really important. But if you just want to ask a question on the channel and put yourself in for that round, you do have to be subscribed for at least 5 minutes. Okay, so just bear that in mind. And as it always says, down here on the bottom of the screen, there are all the details. So right, shall we go ahead? Are you ready? Is everybody ready? The keeper of the questions is ready. The cards are ready. Wispy is ready. Let's crack on. So then, indeed, the round is open. As you can see, I put the details into that there live chat. So if you would like a reading, please go ahead. There are 2 ways to get a reading on the channel. Either pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, or you can send it through as a super chat. Any amount will guarantee you the next slot that is open. But if you want a longer reading, a 6 or 7 card reading going into more detail, send it through as a super chat of at least $10 or £8 UK. Just in case you missed that, you've got 30 seconds. Get your questions in. Here's a handy recap. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Absolutely, and as I always say, the mods are the ones who can be found with the spanner or the little wrench symbol next to their names. So that is vitally important. So then, who have we got? I've been told by the keeper of the questions that we have Jessica 90. I always want to say Joe 90, but that's because I'm just old enough to remember what Joe 90 was. It was a cartoony thing. Right, let me have a look in the comments. Oh God, I think I need to get new glasses. I think that's what it is. I'm getting eye strain at the moment. So I'm having to do this. If you ever see anybody going, you know they need new specs. There we go. Does the person in your mind regret what he did to you? Oh, that sounds like a serious question, my darling. Let's have a look and see what the cards are saying. So then let's have a look at that. Here we go. We'll take that one across. So here we go. Right, as always, we need to cleanse the space for the cards. If you don't know why we cleanse, it is because I do lots of things at this desk. I make other videos, I do private readings for people, I do a Slimming World stream, all sorts of bits and pieces from here, and it just cleanses the energy in between readings, gives us a nice slate to work from. I also do it in between each reading on a night like today, or a day like today as well. I also bring in Wispy, who is the air elemental dragon that I work with. So good evening to Wispy. If you want to know, I've put a link into the chat right now, linking to my podcast episode that me and Neil did, talking about the dragons. What are my dragons? Wispy, the Tarot Air Dragon Explained. So yes, it explains all about that. Right then, so let's go ahead and bring the question up from Jessica. Put myself up in that corner, as you can see. So then, Wispy, Jessica would like to know, does the person in her mind regret what he did to them? Does the person in Jessica's mind regret what he did to them? Let's have it. Oh, we've had a card jump. Look at that. It's jumped and flipped. Right. Okay. So listen, hang on. I need to jump back to the other screen. So this is for Jessica and for everybody else. This next card is one of the cards that I have to issue a warning about. This card does not mean what it says on the tin. Okay, this is one of those cards in tarot that everybody freaks out about. They will remember this card as coming up for them no matter what people say, no matter what tarot readers say about it. They always focus on this card, on one of these two cards, right? This card that's come up reversed is the Devil card. Now, you can see in here, look, there is no devil on this card. There is no like horned demon god type person. There is no Lucifer. There is no personification of any of that, because that idea of the devil is from Christian belief. It isn't to do with the tarot cards. And the devil in the tarot cards itself doesn't mean the devil. It means materialism, or it means temptation. It's all of those things that the card represents. It's just a almost like a throwback to the time when the cards were first written and first formalized as we know them today, that terminology was used to depict that type of archetype. Okay, that's all it relates to. So Jessica, don't be worried that this is, you know, Old Nick, Old Scratch, the Fallen Angel, whatever names, Beelzebub and all of that, whatever names that history has given to the biblical figure, this is not representing that. Okay, so the devil in the tarot deck, as I say, talks about materialism, manipulation, and it talks about contracts. And in this case, you can see we've got a puppet master, somebody pulling the strings. as I always say, whenever you see this inverted pentagram, people go, oh my God, oh, it's Satan. Ooh. The pentagram is an ancient symbol. You can see it behind me. It's an ancient symbol. I need to clean this. Look at this. All it means, this is my coaster. All it means is there are 5 points on this star. They stand for spirit, and then different groupings will name these other ones in different order. But it's basically earth, air, fire, and water. Okay, so we've got spirit, earth, air, fire, water, say, for example. And that's lovely, right? That's what those 5 points mean. When it's like this, so you've got 2 points, we are looking at the material elements, which is earth, air, fire, water, being raised above the spiritual one. So it's more important for the person at that moment to have the physical needs over the spiritual. That's literally what this represents. When it's a single point, it means we are placing our spiritual, our soul, our eternal whatever. We are placing that importance of what those needs are above our physical. Okay, so that's literally what it means. So if you go out shopping and you are buying yourself a new pair of shoes, you've got the pentacle this way because you are meeting your physical needs. You need a new pair of shoes. However, if it's just because you've got 30 pairs of shoes at home and you're actually going out and you just want to have the latest fashion pair, that is both this way up for materialism, but it might also be a spiritual purchase because you are there, you are buying something, it is making you happy, it is making you feel all sorts of ways, right? So there are different ways and different things that it can help, that it can mean. But in this case, when you see the devil card in tarot, it just means either a manipulation going on, some materialistic element going on, the devil in the details, the devil's in the contracts. There's all sorts of different meanings. Okay, my darling. So for Jessica and everybody else, that I always have to stop and just give that warning because people would just say, oh, the devil card came up. She's being possessed. Doesn't mean that. Right then, so all of that being said, when a card flips, Jessica, when we get our manifesting, clarifying or modifying card, that basically sits there. We then do the drop and I do your pull. Okay, so we're going to pull your 3 cards. And for Wispy, what we're looking for is, does the person in Jessica's mind regret what he did to her? So we're going to go with I tell you what, we'll go with the standard. Where they are now, Knight of Cups. Right, okay. Okay, Knight of Cups, interesting. Let me just adjust the camera ever so slightly that way. There we go. And then we have what you need to know, the 9 of Cups, and what the outcome is, the Page of Wands. Right, okay. Let's look at this. Sorry, this is going to really bug me. It's slightly skew-if. So then, let's have a look. So, through the eyes of the devil card, let's look at that materialistic view. This is upright, so it's not talking about it being, overly manipulative, but it does feel as if there is manipulation there, and it does feel as if somebody was trying to pull some strings. There we go. I think I'm just going to have to settle with that. So it does feel as if there was somebody wanting control behind the scenes, somebody wanting to exert pressure to be the puppet master, and they were wanting their way ahead of yours, if that makes sense. So where you are right now, or where the person in your mind is, we've got the Knight of Cups energy. Knights are the ones that jump in first, ask questions later. This is the teenage energy of the deck. These are the ones who don't think about their actions, right? When we look at Cups, that's the emotional side. And so what that is telling me is that whoever this person is, it feels like it was a romantic connection, at least a relationship style connection. Whether there was actually any deep meanings behind it isn't really for me to say, except what I will say from the Cups, from the Knight's perspective, is quite often the Knight speaks nice words. Do you know what I mean? Speaks flowery words, gives gifts of flowers, has that sort of way about them, says what you want to hear. Once they've done the done the business, then they're off to the next person that they can say lovely, kind words to. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of that goes on with the Knights. In terms of what you need to know, we've got the Nine of Cups reversed. Now, I always say nines are full, tens overflow. Okay, so this Nine of Cups is full. What do I mean by a full? By that, basically, Cups is the emotional suit. This means there is a bunch of emotion going on behind the scenes. However, the Nine of Cups is reversed. Okay, so this can either mean remorsefulness, sadness, regret, things like that are not overwhelming because it's not overflowing, but are very, very deeply felt feelings of regret. Or it could mean that those emotions were never there in the first place, my darling. So have a little red light, a little red flag for this, a little bit of a red warning, okay? That this might not be a whole lot of remorsefulness because of what happened, right? It might not be. It might be perhaps there's an element of getting caught, because we've got this Devil card coming in. Do you know what I mean? This Devil card, as a modifying card, it slightly changes the way these other cards are looked at. So it's almost like putting it through a different lens. You know, when you go to the opticians and suddenly, you know, you can read the bottom line and then they put the next one in and you can't see the blooming giant A that's like 4 foot high in the room. You can't see it because it's too blurred. It's a bit like that. This changes that lens completely. And so it means that this Nine of Cups, whilst it may mean sadness and remorse, it's almost like there's sadness and remorse for being caught. Do you know what I mean? And then we look at the Page of Wands. Now, if Knights are the teenage energy, Pages are the younger, they are the little un energy, they are the preteen energy. And the Page of Wands, pages are all about confidence, self-confidence, how you or how the person in your mind feels about themselves, what they're, you know, how they view life, confidence, self-esteem, all of those things. Again, it's reversed. I do actually think that this person has acted in a way that is very childish. Not childlike, childish. It feels like whatever they've done, whatever this was, if they have cheated or done something with this Knight energy, they do regret it, but it feels like they regret getting caught, right? Absolutely, this is what that feels like. With this energy coming in, it's like throwing a tantrum. And they throw a tantrum because somebody's gone, did you do that? And they go, no, well, I might have done, but you weren't supposed to be home yet, so you wouldn't have even known that I'd done that. Do you know what I mean? It's like trying to change and alter the situation and manipulate the situation. My advice is, does he regret? I think there is regret here. This 9 would point to regret, but this is saying he regrets being caught or regrets being found out. He doesn't regret the actions. Does that make sense? Because this is giving me, like, there's this card, this way up, there's no remorse here. There's no, like, I'm going to change things in the future. This is almost like the inner child learning, next time I need to lock the door. Do you know what I mean? Before I go into, I don't know, before I go looking on adult websites and doing whatever I'm going to do after, afterwards, I need to lock the door so that my parents don't walk in the room. Or other examples of people getting caught doing things, you know, that they learn from. That thought came into my head because I was watching it. I was about to say a TikTok, but it was on YouTube. You know, when they put the TikToks on YouTube, I was watching one of them earlier about somebody that got caught. They were telling a story. You didn't see them, thank God. So yeah, I don't think there's regret for what was done. I think there was regret at being caught doing whatever was done, if that makes sense. I hope that helps, my darling. I don't know. Listen, I don't know the situation, right? But all I would say, Jessica, is that this does not feel like somebody who's gone, oh, I've messed up, I'm so sorry, I won't mess up again. It feels like somebody who's gone, oh, I've messed up, I'm so sorry you caught me, I won't let you catch me doing it again. And there's a big difference between those two statements. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. Remember, everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only, but you do make all your own decisions about your own life. So if you think that remorsefulness with that 9 of Cups reversed, if you think that is genuine, then that is entirely, you know, at your behest, if you like. That is your right to do that. But I personally would maybe stay clear and move on, if that makes sense. Obviously, I don't know quite what it is that they did to you, but yeah. Hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. Good evening, country. Hello, my darling. All is well. Sorry for the delay. You're fixing jelly that did not set properly. You're multitasking. Oh, I love jelly. I love jelly. We love jelly in this household. We make jelly. We have jelly almost every night for pudding. It's so delicious. Who else did I see? Key is here. Good evening to Key or Kai. Hello, my darling. It's probably pronounced Key because it's a K-I. Who else did I see? I thought I saw Ellis. Yes, I did. Good evening to Ellis. Hello to you, my darling. Anybody else that I've not said hello to, just stick your name in the chat for me, because I can't really go back very far up on this. But yeah, we are going to open a round very shortly. Percy. Oh yes, Percy, you did put a thing in, didn't you, about there's been some news. Hang on. Let me just have a look. You have a silly update from last week. This was the question about those that shall not be named. What did we say? What did we say we were going to call them on this channel? Patricia or Holland? I can't remember what we decided would be the euphemism. The euphemism for they who shall not be named. The little folk. The small wee ones, the wee free men. Oh, Lord and Ladies, Patricia wanted to go with from Terry Pratchett, but I said they're like wee free men. But anyway, yes, from the buggers. Maybe we should just call them the buggers. The little buggers. Little buggers sounds good. Maybe we'll call them that. You have a silly update from your question last week, which is on the Wednesday night, you put out an offering for the effers. Effers. Oh, that's perfect. And on the Thursday morning, your paint reappeared. You see, right, now listen, everybody who's here, Percy, right, believes it was the effers. So there is a group of non-humanoid characters, right, that people leave offerings out for, like teeth, right? Teeth. When a child loses its tooth, they go under the pillow. That species of creature, that species of energy, that species of individuals, the realm of them, they are well known for being tricksters, and they are well known for taking things. I tell the story repeatedly, but when I was 15 years old, I went to a Star Trek club, because I can still, you know what I mean? Hang on. She says, oh, I used to be able to with both hands. There you go. Look. And so I used to go to a Star Trek club, and I was there one day, and the woman that ran the club put her car keys and all the door keys. So it was a big jumble. I know this is a hair scrunchie, but imagine this being a big jumble of keys, right? Huge, big, thick jumble of keys. She put them in the middle of the coffee table, went off and made coffees, chatting. She came back in 15 minutes later, whatever it was, and went, oh, where's my keys? And we all went, Isabel, you put them on the table. We all saw and heard you put them on the table. And she was like, yeah. Oh, it will just be the effers. So, of course, it starts with F. So, F, yay. The F, yay. Take away the first yeah, right? And she said, oh, it would just be them, the effers. She said, she didn't use that word. She used their actual word. But anyway, she said, it would just be the effers. They'll bring it back when they're done. And lo and behold, towards the end of the night, on the coffee table were the keys. And it was just like, oh, they're back. That is something that happens, right? And it happens a lot. And people who work with the effers, people who work with them and invite that energy in, will quite often find things like that happen. And it means that they're wanting an offering, as we said. So I can't remember exactly what the reading said, Percy, because I've trained in my brain not to remember things. But it really... yeah, it did feel like it was them, and I'm glad that you got them back. I don't know whether my reading helped in that, because my gut instinct is grrr. The Others. Oh yes, The Others. Very, very good. SK, you're like number 6. Thank you very much. You're like 6. Hopefully you're older than 6, because if you're only 6, it means you won't be able to get a reading on the channel, my darling. But anyway, I know, right? That's funny joke. Funny joke. Oh, can I go back in the chat? Oh, he was verbally abusive. In that case, get rid. Verbal abuse is just one step away from every other kind. Do you know what I'm saying? Be very, very careful. Again, it's completely up to you, my darling. But for me, red line. No, red line in the sand. Yeah, red flag, line in the sand, red warning. Good luck to you, my darling. Very, very good luck. Shall we have another round, everyone? Shall we have another round? I think we should. No worries, Percy. Oh my God, Percy's a member. Percy, you've joined the Crow Collective. Oh, look. Percy's got a coffee. How did I know that? Because Percy's name just there has got a coffee cup in front of them. Welcome, Percy. Welcome to the Crow Collective. We'll see you on Sunday. Exactly. I totally agree. I've got to be very careful these days, because that first word of what you put there is very, very, very frowned upon from the algorithm. Even if you're doing things to help victims, it's very, very difficult. The algorithm likes to block accounts and things where people use that word. So yeah, got to be very careful on that. But anyway, let's open that round. No, this side. And go ahead, pop your question in the chat, starting with the word question. If you would like to guarantee your place is up next, you can send it through as a super chat. Any amount will get you the next spot in the super chat, but if you want a longer reading, you can do so by donating £8 or $10 US dollars. That will then go through and get you automatically a 6 or 7 card reading. Sometimes, depending on Wispy's mood, we end up doing 10 card readings. But anyway, if you would like to guarantee your place, do go ahead and do the super chat thing. If you just want to get yourself in on the list for a freebie reading, then do please go and just pop your question in the live chat now. Either way, you've got 30 seconds. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3 card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Yes, indeed. Ask one of our mods. They are the most amazing people here in the chat. They are an amazing group of folks. Very, very, very kind-hearted. Very, very loving and giving people that give up their time every week, twice a week, to help this channel run. And I love them all dearly. Yeah, okay, I've that was weird. That came through on my phone then. That's very strange. So then it looks like country. Oh gosh, they've all jumped around. Hang on a second. Everything's jumped around. It's all jumped around. Hang on. Country Love Homestead, your question is up, my darling. So let's have a look at your question. Before we do, I'm going to pop us over onto the other screen. We're going to cleanse the space, and we're going to bring in Wispy, the air elemental dragon. Just as I do that, Patricia, what were your thoughts on the Witch Casket box this month? Don't reveal anything, spoilers, but what did you think about it? Did you think it was a good one? Has yours even turned up? Let me know. Right then, so Country Love Homestead, let's have a look. You put in a form for disaster food replacement. I'm sorry to hear that you're in that position, my darling. You were denied. Okay. Oops. Hang on, Wispy. You filed an appeal and the hearing officer denied for a different reason. You're now trying to reach your superior. How will this go? Wispy, we need some help for country. I'm trying to think if there's any. I'll do your reading, then I've got an idea. I'll do your reading, then I'll do you something else, country. Right, so Wispy. Oh dear. Country Love Homestead put in a form for disaster relief. And they want to know how the form is going to go, what's happening. They're trying to reach his superior. How will this go? Okay, let's have a look, country. Let's look. So, here we go. The Six of Swords at the moment. Oh gosh. The Six of Cups. Wow. And the Ace of Swords coming up. My God, you're going to have a fight on your hands, country. You're going to have a fight on your hands. So we've got the Six of Swords coming in the where you are now position. Swords is trouble and strife and hassles and things like that. All of those life lessons, they're hard to learn because they're a pain in the backside. It's the challenges, the obstacles, the trouble and strife of life. The sixes for me are all about community, and you've got two sixes here. So this is the wider community. This is the wider system, I guess, that you are coming up against. So the Six of Swords itself is talking about those problems kind of going with you. Those problems being something that it's not just on you to fix. It feels like there's a much wider issue here going on, but that isn't going to be helping you in the short term. Do you know what I mean? It feels like this is going to be going on for a little while here. I do think you need to contact the supervisor. You're going to need to get legal advice if need be, or at least, you know, try and get some advice from somewhere. There will be charities and things that might be able to help. I do know though that the States is in a pretty awful predicament at the moment with Elon and the Orange One doing what they're doing. So I do know that it's a very tumultuous time for a lot of people there. What I would say, my darling, is that the cards with this Six of Swords, it feels very much like this is not going to be a quick fix. There's not going to be a simple solution to this. It may be that you're going to have to refill and refile several times to get what is due. What's going on behind the scenes, what you need to know, we've got the Six of Cups. This is talking about the emotional suit. Now, I often relate this card to being about family and about that level of support. Now, it may be, my darling, that you need to reach out not just to blood relatives, but to like your friends and people in the neighborhood. I don't know whether you attend a church or whether there is, you know, a church nearby that runs sort of food bank type schemes or anything like that. It's do all of those, basically apply for absolutely everything you can possibly think of. It feels like you're going to need to reach out at the moment for that support, and especially with this Six of Cups, this feels like it's going to be difficult from an emotional perspective, but I think it's something you are going to need to do. You are going to need to go and plead poverty and basically, as proud as we all are as human beings, where we don't like ever being in the need of handouts and things like that for most of us. I know that an awful lot of us, through disabilities and illnesses and various predicaments that life throws at us, a lot of people are in those situations, and it's not something to feel bad about. That there should be a support system in place for exactly those reasons. And I know that, you know, that this emotional side of this card, it will feel very stressful with this Swords and with this one, but also I do think you need to reach out far and wide to as many people as you can. Any network that you've got, ask for help. Stick it on your Facebook. Say, look, this is what's happening. I am in dire need right now. I've been denied for this reason. I appealed. I've been denied for this second reason. Does anybody know where I can go further to appeal this? Like, how do I move forward with this? It is going to be at a mission of that you're in that situation. But again, most people that are in your situation with disaster relief and things like that, everybody knows this is not something where you've just gone, do you know what, I can't be bothered doing anything with my life right now. This is, you know what I mean? It's like tough times are tough times. I do think though the what's to come, it does feel like there's an uphill struggle. It does feel like this Ace of Swords, there's a new wrinkle here. So whether this is the supervisor sort of element coming in, this Ace of Swords says, I don't think this battle is going to be resolved very soon. If this is why I'm saying with these two sixes, try and get as much little support from as many places as possible, whether that is, you know, a bag of groceries from one food bank or from a church or from wherever. Try and get as much support as you can from various places, because it does feel as if whatever this disaster food replacement form is, whatever this is that you've applied for, it does feel as if this is going to be a bit of an ongoing process for a little while. Not for long, but it does feel as if there's going to be some hurdles and some jumps that you're going to need to go through, because this is showing up as a new project. This is something that is going to be a pain in your ass, my darling. It really, really is. It's going to be a pain in your ass. But it doesn't feel, there's no major cards here, right? So it doesn't feel as if this is going to be what ends you. It doesn't feel like this is going to be what beats you. This isn't the straw that breaks the camel's back. This isn't what is going to finally, you know, be too much for you. Absolutely not. This is just a stone in your shoe on the road to where you need to get to. Do you know what I mean? This is just a hurdle. This is just a road bump. This is not going to stop you, my darling. You're strong enough to fight through this, right? There's no major cards here going, oh, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. Equally, there's no major card here saying, oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow you'll just send an email to joeblogs@joeblogs.com and it will get fixed, right? Not saying that, but I know for a fact that there are all sorts of charitable organizations that are doing their utmost to try and help with the turmoil in the American sort of support system, whether that's social is it social services or there's a name for it, isn't there? Not social support, social benefits, social, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a lot of charities that are there to try and pick up where government agencies are going to be collapsing. Now again, both these sixes are telling me you need to ask around, right? You need to get advice from multiple places. You need to get help from multiple places. I do think it's going to be a little while, my darling, but I do think it will resolve. It's just going to be, this is going to be a life lesson that in a few years' time, you will look back and go, my God, 2025 was crap. But do you know what? It opened my eyes to X, Y, Z, and now I know how to ABC. Do you know what I mean? You will get through this, my darling, but I do think you need to widen your scope of asking for assistance. I hope that helps. I really do. Listen, very, very, very best of luck to you. Absolute, like, my heart goes out to you, my darling. It really, really, really does. There's a lot of things happening with the benefit system in the UK right now, and I know an awful lot of people in the UK who are on illness benefits and disability benefits and things like that are freaking out. They are worried sick because the media are reporting that everyone's benefits are going to get taken away instantly overnight. I don't think it's going to be that bad in the UK. I hope it's not that bad for you in the States. And as I say, reach out as much as you can. I mean, I don't know if there's an opportunity for crowdfunding or things like that, or is it crowdfunding where you I think it's called crowdfunding. What's it called? There's a name for it where you open, there's a whole, oh, ADHD brain. What's it called? There's a thing, a GoFundMe. That's what it's called. I don't know whether you like there's scope for you to do a GoFundMe account or anything like that, where, you know, people might be able to help out with a couple of dollars here and there. But again, a couple of dollars here and there from a couple of hundred people might just give you a little wiggle room until things get sorted. You know what I mean? Anyway, my darling, the very, very, very best of luck to you. I hope it feels like there's still a bit more shit to come your way, unfortunately, but I do hope you get this sorted. And just remember, my darling, we've got a saying in this country, right? There are people that they call Karens, and there are people that they call battle axes. I am what's called a battle axe. My grandmother was a battle axe. My mother was a battle axe. Battle axes are the women that do not let the system stop them. They will find a way, no matter which way it is, and they will be a thorn in the side of the system. They will be the squeaky wheel that eventually gets oiled, right? This is a time for you to be a battle axe, my darling. This is a time for you to stand up, fight for your rights. Unfortunately not to party, but fight for your rights and see it through. And if you need to raise a complaint to the supervisor and then go above them, speak to your, they're not called MPs, your senator. I don't know what the difference is between senators and congressmen, but speak to whoever it is that you can speak to. Raise the point. Keep going up that food chain, and as high as and as loud as you can possibly go. But yeah, I hope it helps, my darling. You've got the strength for this. I know you have. It just feels like it's going to be a bit of an uphill struggle, but I hope that helps. And yeah, if you do end up doing a GoFundMe or anything like that, get in touch with us, let us know, and we'll I'll put it out on the streams and things, and I'll see if anybody, any of our members might be able to donate a couple of dollars or something. But I hope that helps, and thank you very much for your question. And honestly, my darling, the very, very best of luck to you. It feels like a bit of a shit time. In fact, I'm going to light a candle, right? And I'm going to light a black candle, and I'm going to light it for justice. Where's my pin gone? I just had a pin on there, and I've just knocked it off. Where's my sharp pointy thing? There it is. So I'm going to put on here a $. There we go. And I'm going to write very carefully so I don't misspell. I'm going to write country on it. So this is for justice, my darling. This is to get hopefully to help oil those wheels of the system. And we want, who do we want for this one? I'll tell you what, we'll bring in Rocky with that earth energy, because earth is growth. Rocky, my darling, sorry to wake you from your slumber, my friend, but we need you to come and jump on some people and change their views. So our lovely Country Love Homestead is having some issues with a form, and we need you to help, please. And we need you to, oh, what's all that on there? Oh, I've got dust on my crow foot. There we go, just get all that off. We need you, Rocky, to come and help with forms, please, and assist as Country Love Home, sorry, Country Love Homestead fights the system. So we need you to give a bit of support, please, and a bit of strength. And I'm going to let that burn down. Also, Rocky, anybody else that you can help who's in this system that watches, anybody else who needs the same sort of assistance that's going through the same, I'm going to charge you for that as well. Okay, my darling? So we're going to charge you, Rocky. And when you're done, return. Thank you. Right. It's not going to do much, but I hope it helps a little. And yeah, just keep fighting that bloody system, my darling. Do not give up. Don't let the buggers grind you down. And I hope that helps. let's have a look. Oh wow, there's loads of comments I've missed. I'm sorry. Right, let's have a look. It's a system-wide issue. If it sounds like it, there is strength in numbers, so join with others. Exactly. You can't touch me. I'm part of the union. You can't touch me. I'm part of the union. Sail into calmer waters, but not immediately. Head high. You can handle this. You can, my darling. It's crazy because they're giving you foolish reasons. The worker said she doesn't require a proof, but the appeal person denied because I didn't provide proof. This is one of those situations, my love. You need to dot every I and cross every T and give them it in triplicate and then make them sign to say that they have received the copies of your proof, and literally create such a paper trail for them that they cannot, like, anything that they want, provide. Oh, I need your driver's license, your state insurance, whatever it is, your social security number, blah 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 blah. Okay, here's all of that, here's this, here's that, here's the other, here's all the evidence, here's all the proof, I'm giving it to you all, and I am recording you having it, and I'm going to sign for you as I'm giving it to you as a receipt so that it can't go anywhere. Do you know what I mean? Make them do that, make them do their job. I know it's jobs worths. We've got a system in the UK, a benefit system. It's called Universal Credit. Everybody who gets moved into that seems to have problems, and it almost seems like the people that are, what are they called, advisors. A friend of mine's just been moved over, and it feels like the advisors don't tell them what they need to know, and then because they didn't know what they needed to know, they then get sanctioned for not knowing what they needed to know because they weren't told that in the first place. It's a whole awful catch-22 system. It's encouraging you to grow more food this year. Absolutely. The system is broken. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely, my darling. I agree with this wholeheartedly. I know it's political, but I absolutely agree with what you've said, my darling. But yes, grow your own food if you can do. Grow your own food. Grow your own, you know, grow everything from whatever you can, my darling. Grow as much as you can. You know, cheap packets of rice or pasta or whatever, anything that you can get that you can add spices and flavors and things to. I once got a job in a call center after being unemployed, and my benefits stopped because I got a job, but it was being paid at the end of your first month, and I had 2 weeks of training, and I had to walk to the job, and for the last 2 or 3 weeks before I got paid, I literally had nothing in my cupboards apart from gravy granules and a giant bag of rice. So I lived for 2.5 weeks. This is before there were food banks. I lived for 2.5 or 3 weeks, whatever it was, on rice flavored with gravy granules because I was too proud to ask anybody for help. But yeah, it's shit, but it's doable. You will get through this, my darling. Don't do what I did. Don't be proud. If you need the support and help, do reach out there for that. But yeah, I agree with you. The system is absolutely shit. The world over. The millionaires are taking all the money and everybody else is screwed. Anyway, enough about politics. I don't think it is politics. I think it's inequity in our world system. But anyway, good evening, Shara. We are doing some I am opening up another round very, very, very shortly. Honestly, my darling, I don't know whether Rocky helping with things is going to help your country, but I hope it will. Anyway, all right, Ed's coming in about half an hour. Thank you, Ed. Let's have a look at, I think I've got through everybody else's chat who has just joined us. So thank you ever so much for everybody who's coming in. And shall we have another round? I think we should have another round. I really do. Before I do though, I have, oh God, where is it that I'm looking for? Oh, there we go. So before we open up another round, I do just want to say something. I have an amazing bunch of people on this channel. Okay, Holland, who is here, has their own channel called @HollandM. They're not able to upload as much as they were doing, but they still are uploading, so do please go and check out Holland's channel @HollandM. Holland also has very kindly granted me some rights to use some of their music, which I'm slowly bringing over as I update idents and things over here on the channel. And we've also got a lovely one of our moderators and one of my besties called Neil, who runs a horror zine that he's been running for over 20 years. He's been producing and making for over 20 years. So if you like horror movies and all sort of things, 80s silly gothy, you know the makeup that was so over the top it was ridiculous, if you like that sort of film, you might like this.
Legend has it that it was written by the Dark Ones.
It is coming. Necronomicon. Strange tales of the supernatural and the unearthly, when the fabled Necronomicon unleashes his ancient secrets.
The secrets of the Necronomicon do not come cheap.
Necronomicon.
What's in the basket? Easter eggs?
What's in the Easter egg? No, what's in the basket? Easter eggs? Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Right then, let's go ahead and... It is time. If you would like a reading, please do pop your question into that there live chat, starting with the word question. One of those will get picked at random by the keeper of the questions, and that person will get theirs read. If, however, you want to guarantee that your reading is up next, you can do so by sending it through in the form of a super chat. Super chat of any amount will get your question next, and a super chat of £8 or $10 or above will get you in at a longer reading. So either way, if you would like to do one of those two things, go ahead and do it now. You've got about 30 seconds before the keeper of the questions will choose either a free one, or you can snipe in at the last second with that super chat. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Gosh, sorry, follow your nature. Thank you. I was muted. Oh my god, that's the first time this. I was doing so well. Follow your nature. You're up, my darling. I was doing so well. Oh my god, that's funny. I literally just said to myself, oh, you haven't messed up today. You haven't left it on mute. You haven't messed up. Booger. Follow your nature. You're up next. Listen, if you are not follow your nature, if you're anybody else that asked a question, select and copy your question. Get it ready for the next round. Okay, the questions at the moment are about 15-20 minutes, so stay where you are. you'll be upward. We've got plenty of time. We've got nearly an hour left. 50 minutes left. So there's plenty of time for more readings. So don't go anywhere. Right then, follow your nature with the microphone on. I am going to cleanse the space. I would have done the whole reading muted as well. How bonkers is that? That is really funny. Right then, Wispy, come on through, my friend. Follow your nature would like a question. What will help me with my spiritual growth at this time? What is going to help follow your nature with their spiritual growth at this time? I like these. So then, shall we? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Ooh. Where you are, your wants, the situation. I tell you what we'll do, my darling. I tell you what we will do. We'll look at, right, I tell you what, you want to help with spiritual growth. So we'll look at the opportunity. No, we won't. We'll look at the situation, right? The situation for spiritual growth. Then we will look at the obstacle, if there's an obstacle blocking it at the moment, and then we'll get some ideas on how to remove those obstacles or how to clear that blockage. Okay, all right, Wispy, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do obstacle, blockage, how to overcome the blockage. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's in the cards today? Let's have a look. I need a little jingle saying that, don't I? Oh dear. If you like this nonsense where I keep missing all the buttons and not muting and then just talking to myself in silence for several minutes, do please make sure you hit that like button, and then also hit the subscribe, and then dong your bell, as it says just there, look, just down there, dong your bell so that YouTube notifies you each and every time I go live. So then, the Four of Cups. Oh, okay, I've got that. Seven of Swords, thank you, Wispy, and King of Cups. Right then, so why did I say, oh, I've got that, about a reasonably innocuous card? Follow your nature. So the situation, right? So the situation that you are in with your spiritual growth, the Four of Cups might not be, I don't know if you know tarot at all, but it might not be an obvious card to point out what the issues are, but it really, really is, because for me, fours are all about stability. Okay, so if it were this way up, we'll be talking about a stability, everything's ticking over, everything's going fine, same old, nicey, right? Cups is your emotional self. So wherever you see liquid, especially in this deck, but in any tarot deck, wherever you see water, we're looking at an emotional element coming in with that card. So even if it's not on a cup suit, if there is water depicted, it's talking about there's an emotional element somewhere here for us to pick up on. However, this is reversed. Now then, what does the Four of Cups mean for me when it's reversed? It says that the four here isn't just stable, it's stagnant. This energy, this spiritual energy, this spiritual growth energy is stagnant right now. There is no... oh, it's telling me OBS has just disconnected. Oh, hang on a second. I shouldn't have. Let me just double check. There shouldn't be anything running in the background for that at all. No, nothing is. I've got no VPN or anything connected, so I don't know why. If we just blacked out on you, I've got no idea what that was. It was an OBS issue. It's looking fully connected right now, so let's just hope. Let's just carry on, right? And hopefully we're all okay for the stream. So yeah. Stagnant energy in here is saying that your emotional growth, that spiritual side, the emotions that are connected to that spiritual side, it's not going anywhere. it's kind of just been laid to rest and put to one side. So I don't know whether you're not doing any work, because the thing about spiritual growth is you can't just go and buy a crystal. I mean, you can go and buy all sorts of crystals. You know, you could go and get yourself a big old chunk of rose quartz, for instance, really lovely. Or maybe if that piece doesn't suit you, you could get yourself another big old chunk of rose quartz, because, you know, that's what we do, isn't it? Or maybe the rose quartz isn't right for you. So maybe you'll go and buy a big old chunk of selenite, just here in my background, which is now all lit up red. Maybe you'll go and buy one of those. But without the work, without the effort, without the putting your heart and soul into it, there is going to be no growth. Okay? So this card is talking about that stagnancy in that emotional field, right? I don't know whether you've come to a plateau in your spiritual growth. I don't know whether you haven't yet started your journey, or whether you are trying to find out a way for which way your journey needs to go. But it feels very much, from these 3 cards alone, it feels like there is still a fair bit of work for you to achieve here, a little bit of work for you to actually, a bit of work for you to do, to be honest with you. It really does feel as if there is still some things that you need to work on, particularly because if this is the situation, the blockage, it feels like, so the 7s are all about questions, right? Questions and offers and choices. And when it comes to swords are your trouble and strife. So it feels like part of the problem here, part of the problem with your growth maybe not happening, or being a bit stagnant, or indeed stunted, it's because it's almost like there's too much choice. So are you focusing in on an area you want to study, or an area you want to grow in? Because the spiritual fields, there is so much out there. If you wanted to study the runes, there are various versions of runes. If you wanted to study tarot, there are various versions of tarot decks. If you wanted to get into oracle cards, every single oracle deck is different and has a different system. They're all unique to that individual deck. At least with tarot, it's a similar system. But there's scrying, there is, you know, witchcraft, as we do on this channel. There is Wicca, which is a whole other type of witchcraft. There is, you know, Buddhism. There is spiritual elements within Judaism. There are, with the Kabbalah and things, there are all sorts of different paths that you could follow if you're wanting spiritual growth, right? You could go and sit in nature and get forest washes and forest hugs and all of these lovely things that you can do. But you just need to get on with it. You just need to choose a path, right? Because you could walk into any metaphysical shop, right? The lovely witchy shop down the road, or in town, or in the next state, or in the next village, or in the next city, wherever it is, right? You could find one of these really cool, interesting shops, and you could walk in and just sit there or stand there. And there's so many choices. There are so many options that you could stand there all day and walk out and have zero spiritual growth. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you need to work out where your calling is, my darling. If it's something, and the thing is, in this day and age with the internet, this is the best time. It's the most confusing time, because these days everything is open, but it's also the best time because you've got access to near enough everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like there are lots of different things that you have access to if you want to go and research. If you want to go and research runes, there are books, there are studies, there are videos, there are free things on YouTube, there are downloads. If you go to the witchesroad.co.uk, my own website, there are things on there that you can go and download for free in the studies section, which have got lots of bits. There are some bits on crystals and some bits on I don't know, sigils, and there's lots of bits and crystals and various bits and pieces of what you might want to go and look at. But this is saying that the obstacle, the challenge is stagnation, the situation is stagnation, the obstacle is too much choice. But do you know what this card is telling me? The King of Cups, right? You need to follow your heart. Cups is the emotional suit. The King is the highest in that suit. It doesn't get any higher than the Kings in the deck before we go into the major arcana, right? So yes, there is an Emperor who is higher over the, but that is a separate, almost a separate set of cards. The standard day-to-day suits, the King is the head. So this is as high up as you can go within the order of the cups, within your spiritual, emotional self, right? And the King is the one that makes those choices. The King is the one that decides what happens in his kingdom. In some instances, the King can be seen as a bit of a player romantically, blah, blah, blah. But in this particular position, in this particular deck with this particular card and this particular question, how do you move forward? You need to follow your heart, my darling. Go and have a look. Have a look at as many different witchy, alternative, spiritual websites that you can and give some a try, right? When I first came into witchcraft, I came in via a very interesting family route. And there's podcasts all about this. If you click on my channel, go to the podcasts, there's a whole ream of podcasts where me and Neil talk about how we got into the witchy world. But I started coming in with auras and crystals and very light, if you like, witchcraft, because my family had a very distinct connection to spirits and things like that. So I came through that funnel, tried in through the Wiccan funnel, tried Wicca, felt that wasn't right for me, but then expanded into witchcraft and expanded into tarot and things like that. I've been reading tarot now for 30 years, and I was reading tarot before I looked at witchcraft. Do you know what I mean? And it just, try things. Think of the spiritual realm, think of the spiritual studies, the spiritual growth as an all-you-can-eat buffet, right? You can go just for your favourite meal and just fill your plate with meal after meal after meal of your favourite food. Or you can try little bit from that plate, little bit from that plate, little bit from that plate. Do you know what will happen? There'll be several things that you go, oh my God, how does anybody eat that? That's too salty, it's too spicy, it's too sweet, it's too sour, it's too whatever, right? You will find things that you absolutely hate. For me, that's astrology. I could not tell you. I have tried. I even tried to be part of a coven, and they were trying to teach me astrology, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so boring. My brain is trying to shut down right now. I'm just like, nope. I know enough about my star sign, my partner's star sign. I still couldn't tell you whether your sun is rising in Uranus. Don't know. No idea. No idea. Couldn't tell you what your moon sign means, your third house means, any of that. No idea. No interest in it. But I have tried runes loads of times. Because I love tarot, I think I would get on really well with the runes, and I cannot pick them up. No matter how much time and effort I put into runes, I cannot pick them up. It's a system that just does not work for me, and so therefore I know that is not one for me. Again, it's like I've gone to that all-you-can-eat buffet. I've gone, I really like chicken Rogan Josh. Let me try this chicken biryani. It's a spicy dish when it's both got chicken in. I bet I love it. And I've gone, oh no, that's not for me. Do that with the spiritual world, right? Do that with the spiritual world, because there is so much choice out there, and it's literally a pick and mix. Pick what you like. If you go, oh, do you know what? You pick up a tarot deck. Don't forget, this is the other piece of advice, right? If you do pick up a tarot deck, all tarot decks are different. My advice is always with a tarot, pick up a generic one, a Rider-Waite-Smith, a Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith, a Radiant Wise Smith, like any of the ones that are very, very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith, because you will find tons and tons and tons of videos from lots of different perspectives on that style of deck. This one here, right? The very standard sort of old traditional deck, right? And then jump off for the weird and wonderful and the out there. It's the same with anything. There are, if you're going to go into crystals, look at the basics first. Don't go off looking for some, weird and wonderful, rutilated this, that and the other. find your quartzes, find your amethysts, whatever it is that you go into. Find what's right for you, find what appeals. Again, you don't have to spend any money. Just do a little bit of research, dip your toe in, spend a week looking at runes. Spend a week looking at crystals, spend a week looking at scrying mirrors, spend a week looking at, I don't know, mindfulness, spend a week looking at whatever it is. And eventually you'll find, I like this one, I don't like that one, I like this one, this is the one I love though. I love this. This is amazing. This is all. Do those. And that way, my darling, by trial and error, you will work out what your spiritual needs are and how to fulfill them. And most importantly, because these are cup cards that have come up, what is floating your boat, what is tickling your pickle. I haven't said that in a few years, have I? But what floats your boat, what tickles your pickle, and you will then be able to move forward down that route. Okay. And it could be anything. It could be that actually modern Satanism is for you, which again has nothing to do with the Christian version of the devil. It could be that demonology is for you, or it could be that Druidism is for you. And you're really drawn to that creative, artistic Arwen side. It could be traditional witchcraft is the one that grabs you by the short and curlies. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it is, have a try. There is nothing wrong with trying a little bit of everything to find out what you like. And I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. Thank you for your question. Whatever it is, right, you need to follow your heart. And the only way you're going to know which way your heart is pointing is by working out what you like, what you don't, and what is drawing you to it. Because it could be, after all said and done, right, it could be that Islam is your spiritual choice, or Catholicism is your spiritual realm. Whatever it is, don't discount organized religions as well, okay? Because it could be that you are born to be a nun or a monk or a lay preacher or whatever. Whatever it is, my darling, stay open-minded, try everything. There is a wealth of knowledge on the internet, but don't believe everything you read on the internet, right? Whatever you look into, get at least 3 different perspectives from 3 different websites and ask questions. And you're always welcome to come back here, my darling, and ask the mods, because we've got an amazing bunch of mods that have personal beliefs and follow personal paths in all sorts of different ways, and also are very wise in other paths as well, even ones that they don't follow. We've got a lot of knowledge between us in lots of different areas. So we can always point you in the direction of a decent chaos magic book or a decent aromatherapy book or whatever it is. So then with that, my darling, I'm going to say thank you very much for your question, and I genuinely hope that helps. Right then, let's see who I'm about to say who have we got, but yes, who have we got in the chat? Ivy, they're a natural fit for you. What is, my darling? Oh, hang on, let me just, I can see, follow your nature's questions. You meditate but you don't do tarot or runes. Maybe something like brain fart, Reiki. There we go. Maybe something like Reiki is a good option for you if you meditate. I follow mindfulness practices and affirmations. I've just included 2 new affirmations into my nightly and daily bundle, by the way. So my affirmations, and feel free to nick these or dap them, whatever you want. My current affirmations, I've used the same 4 since I was probably 18. Right, since Louise Alhay's first book, You Can Heal Your Life, or the first one I read, that one came out, I've used the same 4 affirmations, which are I love and approve of myself, everything I need comes to me, everything I need to know is revealed to me at the correct time, all is well in my life. Okay, so that's my internal mantra. I've now added in, and it works, so I say those 4, and then it now follows the second chapter goes, I love and approve of myself. I deserve and accept abundance and prosperity. Healthy food leaves me feeling happy and satiated. All is well in my life. So the first one and the last one are so important, I double up on them. And those middle 2 are the 2 new ones, which are right for me at this point in my life. So there you go. Try affirmations as part of a wider scope. Try that. It might help. I hope it helps, my darling. You love that. You'll follow your heart and see where it leads. That King of Cups is absolutely screaming at you to do that, my love. It really, really is. You're looking forward to experiencing where your heart goes. No worries. Let us know. Come back in and tell us as you're going through. Let us know where your spiritual journey is taking you. Let us know what you've tried. Let us know if there's anything you go, oh my God, Lisa, you were right about runes. I cannot get them. Or, oh my God, Lisa, I love the runes. They are the best thing ever. Like Ivy says, you love runes. Ed loves runes. Ed works well with the runes. I cannot get them in my head. I know Patricia. Oh, there you go. I was about to say, Patricia struggles as well. They're not a natural fit for Patricia. However, give Patricia any tarot deck at all and she's on it. Do you know what I mean? Different horses for different courses. Thank you, Ed. Have we all remembered to hit the thumbs up button? Have you done it? Have you hit that thumbs up button? I hope so. If you haven't, do it now. Why not? While we have it, let's have a thumbs up party. What do they call it? A like spike. Let's have a like spike. That's what YouTube is saying, it. Smash that like. Don't smash it. If you're holding your phone, you're gonna damage your knuckles, break your screen. Don't do that. If you've got it on a keyboard, just caress the like button. Caress that mouse button. Caress it on your phone. Little tickle the like button. Don't smash it, right? I don't know why YouTubers say that. They've all got loads of money in there and they've all got like, I'm gonna give away 15 iPhones. If you've got 15 iPhones, you can afford to smash the like button because you probably damaged your screen. You need a new one. That's why they do it, or something like that. Anyway, let's have a round. I am absolutely waffling to high heaven. It is time. Let's get the doors open. The round is open. Go ahead, pop your question into that there live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get picked by the keeper of the questions. Don't forget, if you would like to, you can always send it through as a super chat. Why would you do that? Because you get yours guaranteed next. You get yours guaranteed next, and if I get more than one super chat, I read them in the order they come in. If you send a super chat of more than $10 or 8 UK pounds, GB pounds, then your reading is an extended reading, a 7 or 6 or 7 or even 10 card reading, depending on what Wispy needs me to do. So that's why you might choose to do that. Don't forget, any money we make on this channel through memberships, through the ad revenue such as it is, or through super chats or super thanks, whatever way people donate, any of that money, YouTube takes its 30% off the top end. Everything that's left, 10% goes to the PDSA in the UK, which is a charity that help poorly animals. It's an animal hospital charity, and 10% goes to a local Leeds homeless shelter. Excuse me, I couldn't get my words out then. A homeless shelter called St George's Crypt that we donate to as well. But you've got 30 seconds to get your questions in, should you want to. And yeah, the round is open now. Indeed, and looking down to make sure I need to put my button. I need to put a big sign up here somewhere with a what I need to do. I wonder if I could program it. There's this thing that you can do on the internet. It's called if this then that, which means if I press a button, then this other action will work. I wonder if I could link my mute button to a little light above the camera here somewhere. That kind of says like it glows red or something if I'm muted. I wonder if I could do that. There must be a way of doing it. I'm gonna have to look into that this week as well. Anyway, I've been given the name Ivy. Ivy. Good evening, Ivy. Oh, Ivy of the runes. Ivy the rune master, rune mistress, the runester. Ed, I bet you wish you were the runester, don't you? Now I've christened Ivy as the runester now. Ivy, your question is Ethan the one for you with, I like that. That's a different heart emoji. I haven't seen that one. Where's that? Is that a YouTube one? I haven't seen that one with the little big heart and the little heart. That's really cute. Right, I'm talking nonsense again. Right, let's have a look. We'll go across. I will do your cleansing of the space, cleansing of the space, making it cleansed and clean for a reading, because I've cleansed the space. And we're going to bring in Wispy. I'm in a very strange mood today. If you can all tell, I do apologise. And we're going to bring back in me. Hello, that's me in the corner. And the lovely Ivy's question down there. I tell you what, we're missing Sarah tonight. Sarah, one of our lovely members, normally pops in. Oh, look, there's a card jumped. It's a Major Arcana card. It is the Hanged one. So, Ivy, you've got a clarifying or modifying card. What does that mean? It means exactly what it says on the tin. This card clarifies or modifies the reading based on this card. So this becomes the lens that we look at the reading through. Okay, so basically what that means is it slightly alters the meaning of the 3 cards we're about to lay down. Also, when that happens, that is when I stop shuffling and we go straight to the cut. Okay, so then let me have a wee look. We'll do your cut. Let's look and see where we are. So then, is Ethan the right one for you? Is Ethan the one for you? So we'll look at where you are right now. The Knight of Pentacles. What you need to know, which is the 8 of Swords, and what the future opportunity is. The High Priestess reversed. Right, my darling. So, first things first. Out of 4 cards, you've got 2 Major Arcana ones. What the hell does that mean, Lisa? Wow, the Major Arcana are the big shouty cards. These are the ones that are really important. These are the ones that add that, they're like the headlines. These are the ones that tell you what you need to know. Okay, these are the really big important shouty cards. The rest of the cards, the other 56 cards, I always get that wrong, but it's right, the other 56 cards fill in all of those details. Okay, so when you get a mix like this, these big ones are the big hitters. They're really trying to tell you something. First of all, your modifying card, your clarifying card, is the Hanged one. This talks about sacrifice. This talks about patience and waiting. Okay, so it may well be that this is not the right time. It may well be that there is a sacrifice being made, right? Now, this isn't like, I'm not talking, oh, we'll go and get a turkey and, you know, get the kitchen knife and we'll do what we need to do and it'll be in the oven for Thanksgiving. Not that sort of sacrifice. It's not a goat on a plinth or anything like that. This is talking about self-sacrificing. Okay, and waiting. The traditional version of this card shows Odin on the Tree of Life awaiting the knowledge of the runes. So hanging on the Yggdrasil, waiting for the runes for 9 days and 9 nights. In this deck, this person is in this Japanese rope art. If you know, you know. But they're in this. They choose to be here. They are tied there by choice. It's a little more interesting because they're underwater, but this gives an awareness, a awakening. It gives some sort of knowledge. This is what this card represents. It's choosing to sacrifice something for that knowledge, right? It's choosing to sacrifice the time. It also, because of that 9-day element that goes with the story, it also can relate to this might not be the right time. You've got to give things time, right? So with that in mind, the Knight of Pentacles, where you are now. So the Knight of Pentacles is, knights are the ones that go in all guns blazing. Okay, the knights are the teenage rebellious attitude in the cards. These are the ones that act first, think later. They jump in all guns blazing, don't think about, you know, the repercussions of their actions. And even if you said, if you jump over that fence, you don't know what's on the other side. What if there's a load of prickle bushes? And they go, oh yeah, that'll be really funny. Ha, ha, ha. Jump. Oh, I've landed in the prickle bushes. Well, we told you that could happen. We said that might happen and you've done it, and it did. Maybe next time, have a little look. Next time, oh, I'm going to jump over that wall. Right, remember last time with the prickle bushes? Oh, it'll be fine. It can't happen again. Ow, prickle bushes. Yep. That's the energy that the Knights bring. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. Excuse me. It is work, career, finance energy, but it's also growth energy because Pentacles is related to the earth element. So that's about growth and things like of the earth. Thing is, though, when it's reversed and we're looking at Pentacles, there's a bit of a money issue going on here, or a bit of a career issue going on here. So is Ethan spending a lot of time focusing on his career or their career? Is Ethan maybe one of two ways? Either not giving a monkeys about their career, or spending a lot of time trying to come up with like get rich schemes, going after this project, that project, the other project, because this energy with the Pentacles is very much it's very much, you know, they want to run a course and make £1 million from teaching people how to make a course to teach them how to win £1 million, things like that. Ethan's a workaholic. This energy then, this is going to be a blockage for you because this is reversed, right? So this is putting all of the energy into that romantic element, and again, this thing that time might not be the right, this might not be the right time, but this sacrifice card, are you willing to sacrifice time in a relationship because somebody is spending all their time trying to build things in the workplace, trying to earn that money? Question mark. What you need to know, we've got the Eight of Swords. This is talking about an awakening. This is talking about blindfolds being lifted. In a traditional deck, this would be saying that there are blindfolds coming off. Swords is all about trouble and strife and hurdles and challenges. This is saying that you are being bound, or Ethan's being bound at the moment, held back by certain whatever it is that's binding him, or binding the relationship, I should say. And I don't mean binding together like when you have a hand binding where you get your hands together and they're wrapped. I don't mean that. I mean literally things are holding Ethan back, or holding the relationship back, I should say. What this represents with this pair of scissors here is that moment of revelation, that moment of having the truth revealed, things being seen truly for the first time. Okay, so this is representing what is going on now. This is what you really, really, really need to know, my darling. So whatever is happening in this relationship, wherever this might or might not be headed, it feels like at the moment you're in an awakening period. Does that make sense? It feels like you are having that blindfold lifted at the moment as to how things truly are. Now the outcome, again, this sacrifice card comes into play as well, because what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to wait? How long are you willing to wait? How much of yourself are you waiting for in order to give Ethan a chance? Do you know what I mean? How much are you willing to wait? Because then in the outcome, we've got the High Priestess reversed. Now, the High Priestess, she is a card of spiritual connection, certainly, but she is a card that is by the book. She is somebody who follows the path literally religiously. She is somebody who is very dogmatic, right? But she is reversed here. And when the High Priestess is reversed, it's talking about an aloofness. It's talking about somebody who is so caught up in the red tape of life, right? Making sure every T is crossed, every I is dotted, not just for themselves, but for everybody around them. They have this deep, deep, deep sense of things have to be correct. Things have to be the way that I say, right? There's a certain control element with the High Priestess that when this is reversed, it's like it's my way or the highway, right? There is a lot of the High Priestess energy is very, very, very strictly by the book. And so there's no romance cards here. There's no cup cards. There's no lovers card. There's no temperance. There's no, working with people or anything like that here. The only two major cards, we've got the sacrifice card with the Hanged One, and we've got the High Priestess reverse, which is that element of aloofness, following your own path, perhaps on a lonely path, but also following some kind of scripture almost, right? So what I would read that as is if you and Ethan are to be together, right, then you would need to be prepared to sacrifice certain things in your life, maybe spend some time on your own within that relationship. So I don't know whether Ethan works long hours or far away from home or something like that, but it would mean you being alone for some of the time, and or lonely, because the High Priestess is not somebody who is very surrounded by friends, right? We've got the Empress, who is that friendly, warm, loving, abundance in all forms, like come and give me a hug, hold tight to my bosom type character. And then we've got the High Priestess, and she's almost the exact opposite. She's almost like standoffish, arm's length. My fear, my darling, right, is unless things change, it feels like this work ethic is going to leave you feeling a bit left out. And then comes that dogma element where you then will want things done correctly, done by the book, done by the rote. You know, I question the happiness here at the moment. Now that doesn't mean you can't have a conversation with Ethan and say, do you know what, I like you, I've got feelings for you, but we need to spend time together. And maybe if you're spending 18 out of 24 hours in the workplace, where does that leave me? Question mark. Or maybe whatever. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you need to have that deeper conversation. Or maybe this isn't quite the right time for you. Okay. And if it isn't quite the right time for you and Ethan, if it's meant to come to you, it won't pass you by, as the wonderful Patricia says on our channel, one of the mods, the wonderful Patricia says, right? What's meant for you won't pass you by. If Ethan is the one, he won't pass you by. So having that conversation isn't going to do anything, but just be careful, right? There's the control element with this card. If this is coming from Ethan, then just be a little bit careful, because this is aloof, by the book. Everything needs to be done right at the right time in Ethan's way. If this relates to Ethan, it has to be done his way. Okay, I don't know whether that's a sacrifice you're willing to make, my darling, but I'm going to leave that with you. I'll leave you with those thoughts. It feels like this right now is your awakening moment, your blindfold being lifted. Either way, I hope that helps. I always say I can only give you the reading that the cards give me. It's always the reading you need. It's not normally the reading that you want. And again, I can only give it to you as the cards give it to me. This is not a channel where we sugarcoat or blow smoke up other people's behinds. You know what I mean? This is where we like to say it's like advice from your best friend. Do you know what I mean? A mate will say, you've been feeling poorly. When you're better, we'll go for coffee. Your best friend will say, I know you've been poorly, but you've been in that bed for 3 weeks. You ain't that ill. Get yourself up, get in that shower. I will be there in 10 minutes. We're going for coffee, whether you like to or not. And you better clean your bloody teeth. Do you know what I mean? Only a best friend can say that. So I do hope that helps. Oh, thank you, my darling. It helped a ton. No problem, my darling. I hope that does. Forewarned is forearmed, as they say. You feel like you're walking on eggshells around him. Be careful then. That is not... If you're doing that already... How is that going to work in a relationship? What if you are, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, you've got a young kid, you're both stressed with mortgage bills and everything else. How is that going to work then? Do you know what I mean? How is that going to feel if you're already doing that now and you're not even in that? I'm not going to say you're not in that deep, but you're not that advanced in the relationship. Do you know what I mean, my darling? Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you. Right. We've got just enough time for one quick reading. So I'm going to go straight to the air horn. The round is open. Please do get your questions in. You've got exactly 30 seconds. Get your question in. Start your question with the word question. Or I would say send it through as a super chat. But we're not going to have time for 6 card readings now. If you do want to guarantee the last slot, keep your donation under, unless you want a longer unless you want a higher donation. But I'm not going to do a 6 or 7 card reading at this point, okay, because there isn't time. So just with that understanding, if you want to nab the last space, send it through as a super chat of any amount, and that would get you the very last 3 card reading on today's stream. Either way, go ahead and do one of those 2 things now. Either send it through as a super chat or pop it in the live chat starting with the word question. You've got precisely 30 seconds. Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3 card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Indeed, ask one of our ever so lovely moderators. We've got the best mods anywhere on the internet. By the way, let's have a like spike for the mods, please. Thumbs up in the chat for the mods. Who have we got? Keeper of the questions. It looks like we have Sonia. Sonia, my darling, Sonia, am I going to sign again with the same company? Let's have a look, my darling. Let's have, if you didn't get a reading today, by the way, I am back on Sunday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. And on Sunday, I will be adding in my Fiverr gig. My Fiverr gig is back up and running this week. So it'll be live by Sunday, so you'll be able to book me privately in between those 2 times. Right then, so please do, let's fill that there chat space. Let's fill the comment section with some thumbs up emojis, please, for the lovely mods. I would say put some spanners in, but I don't think you can put spanners in. I don't think there is a spanner emoji, but thumbs up for the mods, that would be ever so lovely. Right then, Sonia, let's go straight across to the straight across to the reading screen, and let's cleanse the space as always. There we go. And I'm bringing in Wispy for the last time, Wispy, my friend, tonight. For the last time tonight. Sonia would like a question. Am I going to sign again with the same company? Ooh, what did you do? Are you Sonia? Sonia, are you the 80s pop star from the UK, Sonia, who was from Liverpool and had lovely red hair and had lots of like really cool hits in the 80s? Are you that, Sonia? And are you signing with another record label? In which case, could me and Holland come and do some backup vocals, please? Or at least me. I don't know whether Holland wants to, but I can I come and do some backup vocals? Sonia, if you're a different Sonia to the 80s pop artist in the UK, Sonia, and you're a musician signing with another record agency, and you need a backup singer, could you please consider me? Thank you, please. There we go. Just in case. Just put it out there to the universe. Can't help, can it? Manifesting can't help. Can't hurt, sorry. Can't help. Right then. So, is Sonia going to sign again with the same company? Is Sonia going to sign again with the same company, Wispy? Let's have a look. We will look at the situation. No, I tell you what, my darling, we'll look at the strengths. Or do we? No, situation, obstacle, and how to overcome, right? Does that fit? That doesn't fit, Wispy. What am I wanting for this last one? Okay, option A, option B, decider. There we go. That's what we're doing. Option A is you are signing with the same company. Option B is you're not signing, and the decider. Okay, so A, B, and decider. That's what we're going to look at. So I don't know whether it's your choice to sign with this company or not. Let's have a look. I don't know whether it's a moving company, a house company, an employment company. No idea, but let's have a look. So option A is to sign. Knight of Cups, it's where your emotional side is. Option B is the Empress, is not to sign. Right, and the decider in the center is the Six of Swords reversed. Right, so the Knight of Cups, this is a emotional move. So to sign would be the emotional thing, right? That's following your heart. Oh, bear with me one second. I've got hiccups today. So yeah, following your heart is the re-signing thing, right? So that means that you will be able to re-sign. It's Knights are that energy of going with the flow in the moment, not really thinking through long term. Okay, so if that is what you're wanting, it feels like that is option A, and re-signing with that same company. It feels like that is, at least for the short term, that's an emotional decision that you can get behind. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're not really thinking long-term plans, but at least it will be okay right now. The option B, not signing with the same company, we've got the Empress. Now this is my favorite card in any tarot deck. This is the favorite card of the tarot for me, and the Empress is all about abundance and prosperity, and she's all about nurturing energy. Okay, so even when she's reversed, she still brings elements of that, but the Empress is all about you see wheat, because it's prosperity, because in the olden days, if you had fields of wheat, you were wealthy. We've got pomegranates, which are linked, I believe, to spirituality, and there's other symbols that the Empress brings, with a crown of stars. There's all sorts of bits and bobs, right? But this is reversed, so this is perhaps suggesting that the don't sign with this company, right? If you don't sign, option B is not signing and looking somewhere else. It feels like that. Oh, hang on, Wispy, give me that again. What's the interpretation for this when it's reversed in this question? If this is where you're not signing for that company, you'll be okay. Right, I think if you've got a choice to sign, I think your heart is saying to sign, because it feels like if you don't sign, you're going to lose this nurturing and this. It's almost like this family feeling or something, that this nurturing it. I keep getting more on the nurturing than the abundance. It's almost like if you stay with this company or re-sign with this company, financially, it's not going to be the best option for you, but it's going to give you a hell of a lot of other things that perhaps are more important to you than just a financial benefit. Do you know what I mean? It feels like that. It feels like if you don't sign, you'll be losing out on this abundance and this nurturing side, this caring side. So I don't know whether, if this is an employer, whether you might get more money per hour somewhere else. However, you've got really good bosses that understand you and a nice work environment. Do you know what I mean? It feels like, again, this card coming up, if you sign, being a positive and going with your heart. Yes, I think it is a short-term decision, but it also, if you don't sign, I think you're potentially losing out on this family connection. So whatever this heart thing is, it sounds to me, or it feels to me with these two cards, that it's like it's this company, it's like a head over heart question, right? Re-signing is the way that feels right, emotionally feels right, it feels best, it feels welcoming, whatever it is, however, whatever this company is, whether it's your landlord that you get on really well with, whether it's your employer, whatever it is, right? It feels nice, it feels good. However, there's a possibility that you'll be able to get a purely financial benefits somewhere else, right? But the decider here is the Six of Swords. Swords is all about community, right? Sorry, sixes are all about community. Swords is about trouble and strife. This is absolutely screaming at this idea of both of these cards are hinting at you staying with this particular company. The decider here is I think this is a wider decision than just for you, because it's almost like if you leave here, right, and you not only is it going to be jumping into a whole new fire, if you like, jumping out the frying pan into a fire, but it feels like there are other reasons that you want to stay. Do you know what I mean? It's like the swords here, swords is trouble and strife. This is reversed. It's like you're going to go into unknown waters, some choppy waters. You paid the school fees of your nieces. This is listen, this where you are now will allow you to continue that group support, right? Whatever that is, they've got that family. It's got that family feeling from the Empress. It's got all of that. If you sign somewhere else, you're losing the Empress, right? I'm always going to be biased in that the Empress is my favorite card. If that feeling of nurturing, support, and helping the people around you, as well as feeling that love in your employment, in your workplace, if all of that is important to you, rather than I can go here and work 5 less hours a week and earn $5,000 more in a year, if the rest of it is more important to you, that workplace culture, how you fit in, how the department, you know, runs with you, all of that thing, if all of that is as important or more important to you, then both of these cards are saying stay put, re-sign with the company, right? And this, as a decider, it's saying, look, if you don't, because both of these cards are saying the same thing, if you go elsewhere, not only have you got choppy waters coming, but these swords, it's going to be tough lessons for you to learn. There's going to be hurdles here. Swords is all about life lesson, challenges, hurdles and obstacles, right? And the 6 is about community and about more to come, because you're on that boat, you are going. So I don't think, put it this way, if you are somebody who is caring and compassionate and cares for the people around you, not just in your personal life, but also in the workplace, you've got friends at work, and having a workplace where, you know, you can go and speak to someone over a coffee, or, you know, you've got work friends that you hang out with. If that sort of environment is important to you and is allowing you to be this nurturing, warm kind of, you know, supportive person, then both of these cards are saying stay put. If jumping ahead in a career, moving steps up in your career, solidifying some opportunity that is purely about money, but it's going to come at the expense of all of that other, you know, stuff, then look elsewhere. But it absolutely feels as if the cards are screaming at you to stay put. But again, it's your decision, my darling. It really, really, really is. And I would say the very best of luck to you, no matter which way that this goes. But again, I thank you very much for your question. All of the cards are very much saying that it feels like the family environment and what this job can offer, not just support for you, but for the people around you. It feels that all of that is quite important for where you are. But anyway, thank you ever so much for your question. I hope that helps. That is going to be the last one tonight, everybody. I've gone 2 minutes over. Thank you ever so much for the amazing mods. Thank you ever so much for everybody that's joined us on this channel. Don't forget, you can always join our membership by hitting the join button. You can always send super chats and super thanks and things like that if people are wanting to help donate. And we will be back very, very soon. In fact, we'll be back in 5 days on Sunday evening. I'm thinking mods, I'm thinking of maybe doing another live again, maybe this week. Rufus is talking about maybe doing a Slimming World live midweek, and so I may be thinking about doing another members only. I was poorly again this Friday, so I will let y'all know later this week, Thursday or Friday. I may well be popping on just to have a little natter with the members. But until then, or rather I should say until Sunday, because that I will guarantee. I'll be back on Sunday evening, 6 p.m. for our members only chat and 7 p.m. for the normal tarot readings and nonsense that we do over here on Beyond Authentic. Until then, look out for the Witch Casket unboxing that is coming first thing tomorrow morning or later tonight for the members. And I will see you on the next one. And as we always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I will see you next time. And take care. Bye-bye.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
Cause she's a witch.
We've got a witch!
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch!
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!